This is Derico. He's about to be beheaded by the most ruthless security outfit in Nigerian history, and everyone is happy about it. They are cheering and hurling insults at him, just as the crowd did when Jesus was about to be crucified. Except this guy is nothing like Jesus. I'll explain. Okay, so one day in the late 90s, Derico was sitting with a couple of friends in front of his house. They are lamenting about how difficult life has been, and all of a sudden, this guy, Chejena, blurts out, "Let's do crime." He tells them he believes they can make a whole lot of money picking pockets, and all of them buy into his idea. They are in the city of Onitsha, one of the most industrious places in Nigeria, and the people there naturally walk around with lots of valuables in their bags and pockets. Derico and his friends picked a day to begin their new line of business, and when that day came, they said the prayer, hit the road, and got to work. By the end of the day, they gathered around a small table and emptied their loot bags. And when they saw the proceeds of their operation, they swore they were never going to stop. So week after week, they hit the streets, taking from every pocket they could reach into, and their collective wealth kept piling and piling. Life is good, but they start to get a little greedy because they decide pickpocketing is no longer enough. So they buy some tools, draw up a plan, say a little prayer, and go out on their first operation. They are super successful. And then they go on another operation, and then another operation, and then another one. These guys, they are cashing in. I mean, they burst into homes, markets, and even banks, guns blazing. Sometimes they get into gunfights with the police, but bullets don't seem to hurt them. It's almost like they're invisible, and they are loving it. With each heist, they became more daring, and over time, Derico and his crew turned into complete lunatics. They became bloodthirsty, shooting anyone who showed any signs of resistance during their operations. But as deadly as they were, Derico was 10 times worse. He was trigger happy, and ending lives was his newfound hobby. One day, he and his friend Chejena got into an argument, and without blinking, Derico pulled out his tool and unalived him. Chejena was the king of the streets, and he was considered to be very tough. And so, with him out of the picture, Derico became the undisputed terror in the land. Everyone was scared of him, and the cops were no exception. They peed their pants whenever they heard he was nearby, hid their guns, took off their uniforms, and dove into the bush for safety. By December 2000, Derico had murdered 25 policemen and over 100 civilians. That same month, he and his gang committed one of the most horrifying crimes ever recorded in the state. That day, there was a 59-seater bus warming up to leave Anambra for Lagos. Everyone on the bus, they're busy arranging their bags and adjusting in their seats, and all of a sudden, Derico and his men pop out of nowhere, screaming, "Lie down flat! Don't move or I shoot!" They climb into the bus, spraying bullets in the air, and they have everyone drop their belongings in a bag. And when they are done, Derico raises his gun, points it at the passengers, and few hours later, the governor of the state learns about what happened, and he gets really angry. So he invites the Bakassi Boys, the most dreaded vigilante in all of Nigeria. And these guys, they are ruthless. Their go-to weapon is the machete, and they publicly execute criminals without trial. The governor tells them to smoke out Derico, and they swing into action. Few days later, they capture 2 guys in his gang, and this gets Derico really scared. He feels the Bakassi Boys closing in on him, and he knows he is no match for them. So he decides to flee the state by public transport. The Bakassi Boys would never see that coming, or so he thought. On the 31st of July 2001, he boarded the bus covering his face with a hoodie, and as the bus moves, he keeps his head low, trying to avoid unnecessary attention. And the journey is smooth for most of the ride, but just before the final destination, the bus comes to a grinding stop. And Derico, he gets all sweaty. He's wondering why the sudden stop. So he raises his head and looks out of the window, and to his greatest surprise, he sees a checkpoint ahead. And it's not the police, it's the Bakassi Boys. They are wielding machetes, looking all deadly in their blood-red uniforms, and they are inspecting all the vehicles. Derico knows it's game over if they see him, so he quickly jumps out of the window and makes a run for it. But the Bakassi Boys, they are fast. They follow in pursuit and catch him almost immediately. They beat him black and blue, throw him in their bus, and drive him to the station. 6 days later, they drive him around town to show everyone they've captured Derico, their worst nightmare. After hours of the tour, they stop him at the center of a huge market and drag him out of the bus. And when the people see Derico looking all roughed up, they cheer in excitement. The Bakassi Boys hand him a mic and they tell him to say something, anything to the people he wronged. And Derico goes,
"My name is Odi, alias Derico, alias Nnwa Mama. I appeal to you, the people of Anambra State. Please don't kill me. I don't like evil. It was when I killed Chiejena that people thought I am a strong guy. I trust Bakassi Boys. They are strong. Please, mercy for me. Nobody can identify me as having robbed him. People just believe that I am a strong guy. Please, mercy for me.
So Derico is crying, begging everyone to forgive him. And then something completely unexpected happens. One of the Bakassi boys swung a machete towards his neck, and in a flash, his head left his body. And it was a wrap for Derico Nnwa Mama.